What happened to Jared Fogle from Subway sandwiches, you guys? What happened to Jared from Subway? So I can't believe I have to do this story because it's truly disturbing, to be honest with you guys, but the real news isn't going to cover this shit. You won't see this on CNN or MSNBC, so I guess I'll give you guys the update. So Jared Fogle was arrested for basically being a pedophile. And his arrest, you guys, is one of the most disturbing arrests you'll ever see. So basically, I guess him and one of the people that was running a charity organization that he was involved in were exchanging a lot of basically pictures and stuff of underage kids. And that's how this investigation kind of started. And Jared befriended a lady who was a journalist, and she was kind of pretending to be interested in this as well. And so Jared started to open up to her, and she started to make all these recordings of Jared. And in these recordings, Jared was asking her to plan a party with little kids and to bring her kids there and to bring the kids' friends there. And then he was asking her, he was like saying, I want to see your kids naked too, okay? He was asking if he could put a camera in her kid's room, in her daughter or her son's room. He was talking about flying over to meet other little girls who were young and spend time with them, and gave the indication that maybe the girls' parents were complicit in the action and he was coming to see them. And it was very weird. And Jared was so comfortable, you can tell that he has maybe spoken to other parents, and other parents sell their children out like this to rich people maybe. I don't know. It's all in the story. You go read it, and it's all in these notes, and it's all documented in these tapes. So you guys don't have to take my word for it. You can go, check this all out for yourselves. And so what ended up happening is, as all this was going on, the lady, the journalist, she wrote a story about it, and she gave all the tapes to the authorities, and they ended up arresting Jared, and he's doing 12 to 15 now in a very high-end, very comfortable, low-security prison where he's taking classes, cooking, staying fit, and having a blast. And he paid $100,000 to 10 different victims that he had, which is a drop in the bucket to Jared. So he's still rich and still has a ton of money. Subway has cut all ties with him, obviously, but after they used him for 15 years as their spokesperson and ignored 2 or 3 different warnings that he may be involved in this type of behavior, you guys. So that's the Jared Fogle story, you guys, and it's a very, very disturbing one. He told the lady, the journalist who was making the recordings about him, some of the most disturbing things you'll ever hear, saying things like it's good to get middle school kids because they don't know if they're coming and going and it's easy to take advantage of them, or it's good to get kids of lower income because no one will believe them and it's easier to take advantage of them. And he described hooking up with children and how he kind of gets them alone and does that. And these tapes that the journalist made of Jared Fogle talking about being a pedophile are some of the most disturbing and fucked up tapes you'll ever hear. And this is coming from a guy who was a huge, huge star. He basically, he was setting off NASCAR races everywhere the Subway was. Jared was for 15 years. And so Subway made him rich, empowered him, and he used that money and authority to then abuse children. That's a really fucked up story.